The nation's hard-won democracy celebrated at different fora across the country. But what are the hurdles to a true egalitarian society? Experts also highlight the good practices that solidify the nation's developmental ambitions, as some others warn against bad habits, threatening to slide the nation back into the doldrums. The 10th Assembly is equally celebrating its midterm achievements. Has the handshake with the people become firmer or looser in the past 24 months? We have details of these conversations and more on our lineup. I'm Fisayo Ogunfuyi. This is Political Update. Welcome. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured Nigerians that while he continues to deepen democratic principles and values in Nigeria, his administration will not seek a one-party state. As such, is not an ideal for the progress and development of the democracy in the country. The president addressed a joint session of the National Assembly to mark the 26th anniversary of Nigeria's democracy in the Fourth Republic.
Second time in 7 months, President Bola Tinubu visited this other critical arm of government, the National Assembly. His second in command, Kashim Shettima, was on ground to receive him. On such a significant day of 26th year of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria, the president chose another unprecedented way of celebrating the progress and development of a government of the people, with the institution making laws for the people. Past presiding officers of the National Assembly and serving state governors were also present to witness the growth of executive legislature unity.
I've celebrated Democracy Day.
And the presidential speech addressed various issues in the country as the president reported that various reforms instituted by his government are yielding positive results, with the economy bouncing back at 7% growth rate. He assured that agencies of government, including NEL Fund and Credit Corps, are working to improve the well-being of Nigerians, while others are striving to attain full sovereignty for the nation. President Tinubu commended the role of the military and other agencies for ensuring national security as a foundation for peace and progress.
Our nation is not perfect, but it is strong. Our democracy is not invincible, but it is alive. And this means our dream of a prosperous, happy nation is still within reach and worth fighting for.
In strengthening democratic values, the president appreciated the cooperation of the National Assembly and promised never to silence critics or seek a one-party state.
I dare not such a favor to any political adversary by repeating the same mistake of political overreach. A one-party state is not in the oven, nor should it ever be. That said, we would be guilty of political malpractice if we close our door on those from other parties who now seek to join the APC.
In recognition of those who struggled for the return of democracy, President Bola Tinubu conferred posthumous national honor of CFR on the late wife of MKO Abiola Kudirat, GCFR on Shehu Musa Eradua, and Lieutenant General Alani Akinriade retired, got CON. He also bestowed GCON on a renowned playwright and political activist, Professor Wole Soyinka. The president also announced the awards of CFR on 7, CON on 34, and OON on 24 individuals who fought for democracy.
I shall also be exercising my prerogative of mercy, under the prerogative of mercy, to grant these national heroes a full pardon.
he decorated the presiding officers of the National Assembly with their earlier national honors.
Democracy is not a gift but a trust Nigerians must protect. This is the affirmation from the leadership of the National Assembly at the June 12 special joint sitting, where presiding officers pledged unwavering cooperation with the Tinubu administration to advance Nigeria's democracy and improve the welfare of the people.
For 2 years now, the president is seen in Parliament more than once annually, not only for budget presentation ritual, but also in solidarity for Democracy Day and the nurturing of democratic values. For the leadership of the National Assembly, the hallowed chamber is home for President Tinubu, and this is indicative of a stronger bond between the two arms of government.
The lesson is very clear. Where governance is in partnership, progress follows. But where governance is a contest, the people suffer. Therefore, as we commemorate 26 years of uninterrupted democratic governance, we must renew our national commitment to foster collaboration between the different arms of government and ignore the critics who decide to term the parliament rubber stamp. But they do not understand why we are here.
The lawmakers applaud the president's expressed aversion to Nigeria being a one-party state. Happy with the conferment of national honors on distinguished Nigerians, including living and late icons of the pro-democracy struggle, they equally commend ongoing economic reforms, as well as the president's support to legislators to improve the welfare of their constituents. Still, they ask for more from the president.
You have demonstrated remarkable resolve in removing the fuel subsidy and allowing the naira to float. Now we require an equally decisive intervention in our power sector. While progress is evident, it is time to wave your magic wand once more to break the cycle of underperformance by shifting from an over-reliance on thermal and hydroelectricity to a diversified energy mix. We must embrace renewable and clean energy sources, such as solar, wind, and even nuclear, to ensure a reliable and sustainable national grid. If anyone can do this, Mr. President, it is you.
So many other discussions and conversations concerning Nigerian state and way forward as Nigeria marks the 26th year of unbroken democracy in the Fourth Republic. And of course, incidentally, today, that is the 13th of June, marks 2 years, that is midterm of the 10th Assembly as well. So joining us to talk about the state of our democracy is Professor Paul Nnamchi, an honorable member representing Enugu East and Isuzu Federal Constituency, an expert in metallurgical and materials engineering, so perhaps we'll be doing some political engineering as well today. Thank you, Prof, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Prof, let's, looking at the ambience of the Green Chamber yesterday and the mixture that we saw there, old members coming in, first-time members as yourself also taking everything in. How would you describe, perhaps, that interface, the comradeship that exists, we saw displayed between the executive and the legislature yesterday?
I would say that it is much encouraging for Nigerians, really, to show that the democracy is not an end game. It is a continuous process. Those before, those that are represented before, and those that are still representing, they are actually geared towards achieving one goal: good governance, ensuring that democracy is evolving in Nigeria, and it continues to, and that democracy is not only involved, but also nurtured, being defended, and also ensuring that it is everyday practice.
All right, Prof, you have, tasted the two sides now, legislature and, of course, the academia. You've seen some of the conversations that we've had in the past month or months in terms of cross-carpeting and the mass exodus from some parties, and the issues of ideology, has been thrown up out there. But the president addressed some issues yesterday that this will not be a scenario of a one-party state. That is not what him and his party are pursuing. But of course, the realities also show that there seems to be, a transfer window somewhere in the political scene. But looking at all this play out, you being a member of opposition, the Labour Party to be precise, how would you look at the political scene at this time? 26 years of the Fourth Republic. Have we been able to maintain some, perhaps, rigid lines in terms of ideology, or is it just fluid?
I would say that we've not maintained that rigid line in terms of ideology, but it's also gearing towards what I just mentioned, that democracy is not maybe a solid structure. Democracy continues to evolve. And even that of the United States and other people like India that has evolved over the years, that has surmounted, there is always challenges. These challenges of misinformation, challenges of polarization, and the other challenges you see in the polity. Nigeria is no exception. They are still evolving. We also have to see that every democracy has element of a people's culture in it. In the case of Nigeria, I would say first that the parties has not actually developed into a principled ideological platform that people will stick to. Because when the parties have developed into that, you will notice that what the chairman says is what the elected people say, and that's what the people belonging to the party will say. At the moment, it hasn't been that. And I also feel that, having said that, we should also know that democracy, as we understood it, is not about that's a finished product that is somewhere we finish and now do. No. But, actually, our people will go on to say that democracy is government by the people, for the people, and by the people. Sometimes I think it's misleading to say to juxtapose a democracy as being that of election exercise and or would I say periodic election exercise and constitutional provisions. Democracy is a way of life. Democracy involves discussions, be it in the town hall meeting, be it in the units, be it in the social media, be it in the National Assembly. All this involves having truth, justice, equity, and fair play.
But how do you politicians view your political parties? Are they seen as the vehicles, the buses that take you from one political bus stop to another political junction? Or are you seeing them as a platform of like minds to effect positive change in the polity?
You see, another thing I also say, yes, I will answer this question, but let me say, there's no political education, even in the party. Each person will have a little bit of political education. That when you enter in this party, this is your ideology. This is where it's leading to. This is what we're going to be doing. Not just after election, you start doing gerrymandering on the other side. We had people from leadership from this party is campaigning for leadership of the other party. We had elected people in the other party is campaigning for people in the other party. That means not one has complete embodiment of ideology. That's why there is this cross-cultural. A party is supposed to know that it's supposed to have some political education. They have also like off-seasons, political education, political exposé.
Which is continuous engagement,
yes, which is
as against periodic calendar engagements targeted at elections.
Yes, because what it is the targeted election exercise, which shouldn't be.
We even see situations where some political parties hold back their own primaries, waiting for shopping for candidates, while some people who have been in the party, are denied. But we move away from that a little bit because we need to interrogate some other issues. You are a representative of your people, and in terms of carrying their ideas and the reason why you were sponsored to be on the floor for them, and then being able to be an embodiment of their desires on the floor. Have you been able to do that? Or what are the hurdles or impediments for us truly achieving that kind of representation based on your experience after these 2 years?
I would say that first, what I recognize coming into the politics is that there is this word of compromise. Not being recognized that there's compromise, both at the party line and the elective governance line. based on the compromise, you can't get anything. Like those that come from opposition, there must be some thin line between politics and compromise, and standing firm and being compromised to be able to reach a certain goal. What you are sent there, those of us doing that is carrying the youth unemployment on our shoulders, carrying the insecurity in our own area. Like I'm from Enugu East Isuzu, the insecurity in somewhere like Hamufu and another, where sometimes from periodic time you see people being killed at the death of farmers, herdsmen issues. You also have carrying with you the hunger, the bad roads, or the other infrastructure that are not present, or the lack of federal presence in certain regions. These are what we were carrying to us in the National Assembly. And for you to attract this, you needed to have build bridges where it need be. And if there's needed to, you also break bridges to be able to carry those things home. In my own case, I also know that my constituency is semi-urban and also partly rural. So there is some things that the rural people need that I need to get to them, like the farming and others. We haven't had something like University of Agriculture and others, which also promotes food security in our area. Also, to look at the urban.
Are you, for instance, stimulating discussions in this direction?
Not really. Well, you are the anchor, so you know what you can do. I'm also trying to give you a perspective of what is going on. But however, in the urban areas, you also know that there is a lot of youth who have their future ahead of them, but they are not sure of work. These areas you have to institute ICT and all those things. That people can also generate work for themselves and live, and the government will leverage on this to also, when people have work for themselves, they don't need to scamper and ask government for one thing or the other.
Okay. Time is not our friend, but I need to ask you. I saw a lot of your members, senators, and all dressing in good dresses, shiny, and enjoying June 12 yesterday. But some constituents complain that when you come, around the 4-year cycle to campaign, they see you all the time. Sometimes you climb Okada, you climb the back of pickups, they see you, you shake hands. When they give you these tickets, then you buy tinted glass jeeps. So nobody even knows when you come to the village because the jeeps are tinted, the glasses are tinted. They can't see their reps or senators again. In your case, has that been the case, or at least have you wound down your glass a little, at least, even if it's to the middle, so that they can see you a little bit?
Well, I am a people-oriented representative, and having said that, I just came back from it. I flew from Enugu to the National Assembly yesterday. So it is a testament to that indication. Then also, in the case of that they don't see, I don't know of that, but I also want to say that the current National Assembly has been quite a responsive, impact-driven assembly. Having said, why I want to say that is that there has been this engagement. There has been the issue of decentralizing political gains, where you will know that now every constituency at least gained one primary school from each member. Okay,
so you are working together to achieve the dividends of the democracy for your people.
Yes, working together as an individual, as a collective group, but also as individuals. The other one depends on, now start checking off your background, your commitment to this. Like some other, I have given scholarship to people. It depends on what the people lack. I see that people want to have scholarship. There are a lot of indigent people that need scholarship. This is what I provided. There are a lot of people that need some training. There are areas of insecurity where you have to provide such things. But having said that, I want to also remark something on the general perspective. There is something that has happened with this 10th National Assembly. They have been able to redefine democratic governance as not just being a seasonal political ritual, but more or less a continuous service to the people they represent.
All right, we'll come back for the last word, but we'll take this last one from, a party, the National Rescue Movement, which is could be also in need of rescue. in some of the issues that have emanated from that party. The National Rescue Movement, NRM, is applauding the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for upholding principles of democracy and promoting internal party democracy. The leadership of the party at a press briefing says that INEC demonstrated this commitment by not identifying with persons impersonating the NRM leaders seeking to conduct a national convention to elect new leadership of the party. Let's take that report.
Approval of any organ of the party notified INEC of a purported emergency convention of the party. INEC, observing that the notice which was issued did not meet the requirements of the National Rescue Movement Constitution, as well as INEC guideline, within 24 hours, communicated 2 letters, separate letters, to the party. The fact that INEC recognized our candidate in Anambra State, Honorable Christy Ndidioli, who is the chairman of our party in Anambra State, is a testament that INEC fully recognized the outcome of that convention.
You're still watching Political Update. Before we go, Professor Nnamchi, Honorable and Professor at the same time, has joined us today. Last words on the program, Professor, very quickly. 2 years gone, 2 years to go. This is half time. When you are coming in, what are the substitutions? What are you expecting? And what are Nigerians to expect from your house talking about legislation for development?
I think, let me do a correction on my name. My name is Nnamchi.
Nnamchi, yes.
Yes, not Nnamchi. But I also want to say that we should, currently, I also think that the people should not just focus on we should not focus on just the voting and the casting of the vote. We should also focus on the voices behind the vote that has been casted. And that is actually what the people are lacking. Currently, most times you see the National Assembly taking the biggest hit from the public. Why it is so? And it is quite understandable. This is the voice of the people. This is the guardian of their commitments, yes, or their representative. So everybody has to focus on them. Well, the president is one, but because everybody looking at each of us in the National Assembly as their own president, not just as their representative. Some people actually forget that they even have governors or they even have local government chairmen. But they focus more on the National Assembly as their light. This is where their voice translates into policy. This is where their voice translates into living conditions. Their voice translates into good governance by the rules you make, by how infrastructure are distributed. And that is why you see, but overall, the National Assembly has been proactive, impactful, transparent, and also that there have been people, there have been a guardian of the people. And I also think that they will see them, the National Assembly, in that way. A lot of people see them as being compromised, that's not, or being rubber stamp. There's no rubber stamp in the National Assembly. Those things have been close to. They have been trying to be partners in progress, to be able to deepen democracy, deepen a lot of issues, say like the Nel Fund passage, which has given access to a lot of
young people,
yes. The Electricity Act, which has also empowered both the private sector and the state to go on.
Prof, from the chamber, we have come to your lecture theater. We remember now that you are a professor. Many thanks. Time is not
Thank you so
our
much.
friend on the show.
Thank you so much.
Let me call the name again. Professor Paul Nnamchi is the honorable member representing Enugu East and Issues of Federal Constituency. He's an expert in methodology, methodological and materials engineering, and has also been engineering some legislation for his people. Many thanks for joining Political Update today. Thanks for watching the Nigerian Television Authority for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Between now and when we come your way again on Tuesday, play your politics for the greater good and keep yourself out of trouble. Bye-bye now.